there a defibrillator up here? Okay, we'll do the photo up here first, guys, and then Milan's going to open with some statements, followed by some questions, and then we'll switch off and have Peter join in.
All right.
That's good. Maybe we'll get Milan to throw the jersey on.
Perfect. There we go.
Looks good, bud. Looks good. Ready to step up. All right. Pull the shoulder back. Just head away, Junior. He's going to start off with a couple statements, and then we'll go into some questions.
Just before I talk about the Oilers, I just want to thank everyone from the LA Kings organization, especially Dean Lombardi, Daryl Sutter, and especially my former teammates for bringing me in a real tough time in my life and supporting me and getting me through tough times and embracing me and to their fans for embracing me over last season. Like I said, through a tough time in my life, and I can't thank them enough for that. And now, with the next chapter of my life, I'd like to thank especially Daryl Cates for bringing me here, part of and giving me this opportunity to be at Edmonton Oiler, and Peter Chiarelli and Bob Nicholson and Kevin Lowe and Craig McTavish for this great opportunity, and I'm excited to get it going once puck drop starts in October.
Okay, take questions, guys. Go ahead. Yeah.
Milan, what would you say was the number one reason why you picked Edmonton?
Connor McDavid. It's and also and my loyalty to Peter, and obviously I've been with him for 8 years in Boston and saw what he was able to do there with the team that we had and turn us into champions, and going back to McDavid, just getting an opportunity to play with one of the best players, I would say, of this time. And I know he missed a good chunk of the season last year with an injury, but from what I saw, what he was able to do, he's definitely up there with the Crosbys of the world and his ability. And to have that opportunity to play with a player like that doesn't come around so often. And I think with having the opportunity to play with a guy like that, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel here. And there hasn't been that here in a long time in Edmonton, and I wanted to do whatever I could to help and be a part of it. And I truly believe that in a couple of years we're going to be contending for a Stanley Cup, because we have a player like that. It's just finding the right pieces in order to make that happen.
Can you expand on the Chiarelli part of it?
Like I said, it's the pieces that he put in place in order for us to be champions in Boston. I saw it happen firsthand. It's making the right moves at the right time and having the right fit, and I have full confidence in him that he's going to do that here in Edmonton.
Did you talk to Connor during the courtship, if we call it that?
I did not. I did not talk to Connor before I came, but I just talked to him a little bit through text messages today, and it's good to see that he's excited that I'm here as well. So hopefully Todd puts us on the same line together, so he can set me up for a few this season.
People look at the length of the contract and wonder how physically you're going to hold up over a 7-year term. What can you say about physically how you feel and where you think your game will be at in the tail years?
Well, a lot of people forget, I just turned 28 this month, so I'm still young as far as hockey age goes, and just because I played 9 years doesn't mean I don't have a lot left. And I think coming to a place like this is definitely going to be refreshing for me. And I mean, if you look at the last 6 seasons, I've only missed 10 games, and only I think 4 of them were due to injury. So I've been able to to hold up, especially playing the way that I do. I think I average around 250 hits in the 9 years that I've been in the league. So good thing I have the Eastern European strong bones and stuff like that on my side to be injury free. Knock on wood, and hopefully I can keep that going. I've always taken pride in keeping myself in good shape, and I continue to do that. I'm going to continue doing that moving along.
You were probably the number one UFA sought after today. No number one sought after UFA has ever come to Edmonton like this on a day like today. What does that mean?
It's great. Obviously, it's exciting for me, and I think it's exciting for Oilers fans. And I think, like I said, it's about time. This team starts heading in the right direction. And like I said, I just wanted to be a part of that. And it's also about time. This team started having a little bit of attitude and a little bit of swagger, because I think that's been missing over the last couple of years. I can tell you from an opponent standpoint, you were never scared or intimidated heading into a game against the Oilers. So I think that's something that we all have to change as a group. I don't think it's just comes to one or two guys. I think it's as a group we have to change that, and we need to start. We need to send a message right from the first puck drop.
What are your impressions of the building behind us here?
Well, it's pretty unbelievable. I'm thankful that I got to take a tour of it on Tuesday, and what Mr. Cates is doing for this team and for this city and for the fans with what he's building here behind us is truly unbelievable. And I think not only it's the best arena in hockey, I think it's the best arena in the world for sports, and I think he's giving the Oilers fans something truly special to be able to watch their team in a building like that. And it's another reason why I wanted to be a part of it.
When you went into Boston, you were a young guy and saw the team build. You'll come here and you'll be looked upon as a veteran. You've won the Stanley Cup, and you talked about being a harder team to play against. That's your style. Darnell Nurse, obviously, you saw firsthand that he's not going to back down. How do you instill that in the entire group?
Like I said, it's something that you got to do as a group, and you got to kind of have that attitude and that, like I said, that attitude and that swagger, and that's something that you have to build as a team. And you got to have a little bit of the right type of cockiness that you're going into a game knowing that you can win every game, and that has to be the mindset. Obviously, you can't be arrogant about it. You can't overlook things, but you got to take things one step at a time to be a harder team to play against. And I think doing it as a group, wave after wave, shift after shift, guys going out there committed to do the same thing. That's how it starts. The process of being a harder team to play against.
Milan, you talked about some of the, what personally it's been like for you the last year. You alluded to that. Emotionally, how do you feel coming here, and does this feel like a fresh start? So, where are you at, and having dealt with all of that stuff?
Yeah, it definitely feels like another, like a fresh start. I feel like a 19-year-old again going into Boston. That's what I feel like here. I cherish the opportunity. I look forward to the opportunity. I know things are gonna change overnight. It's gonna be the same type of process that I went through in Boston, but coming out of it and seeing, having the end result is really what makes it, worthwhile. And I truly believe that that's going to happen here, and that's what I think. It's such a refreshing feeling to come into a situation like this.
You've played in a league for the last 9 years that big name players, stars from other towns, they just don't come to Edmonton. What's it feel like signing here for 7 years? What's changed?
Like I said, I think the McDavid factor changes it all. I think, I go back to Pittsburgh, before they got Sidney Crosby, nobody would sign there either. But once they got a piece like that, guys started going there, and hey, the team and the city is awarded with 2 Stanley Cups. And I think with the McDavid factor here, that that the same result that the same result can happen, and that's why that's why I chose to come here. I've spoken to a lot of GMs since Monday, and had a lot of different places I could have gone, but I chose Edmonton because of the fans and the history, and to get to play with one of the best players in this generation, and like I said, to be able to wear a jersey that some of the best players of all time have worn is also a special feeling, and I hope that I get to do the same thing that they did, and it's raise the Stanley Cup here in Edmonton.
You won't get 17, that's for sure. But 27, you've used that in junior?
Yeah, it was 27 was my junior number, and it's actually the number that I've always wanted to wear since I've been in the NHL, but it was always taken the teams that I was on. So I'm glad that I finally get to wear it. Some great names have worn it before me, so I think it's fitting that I wear it after the guys that have worn it before me, and so yeah, it feels nice, and it feels right to be back wearing number 27.
In Boston, it was a great sports town for sure. Edmonton's obviously very much, they're the only real big NHL team, NBA or anything like that. And you wear that number and the style that you play. Edmonton's always kind of fell in love with those guys. Being a fan favorite in a Canadian market, did that play into the decision at all?
Actually, I've never thought of that. So the decision was made on all the things that I already talked about. So never really thought of that. But knowing for me, it's more than just playing for money or something like that. It's about building a legacy in a place where you'll definitely be appreciated, and I think here more than anywhere they appreciate their Oiler players, and hopefully I can live up to everything that they expect. So like I said, it's an honor to just put this jersey on, and finally their 2006 second round pick has shown up 10 years later. So so with that type of I guess I think it's almost like it was meant to be.
Okay, I'm going to pull Milan out here and have Peter come in.
Thanks, Mike.
If you
All right,
still want to
thank
talk
you,
to
guys.
Milan, we'll just go over here. Peter. Sean works with me. Or Peter, Milan.
Want to say something off the top?
Peter, just come forward just a little bit.
Or you want to say
Yeah, no, I'll start. Obviously, a big signing for the Edmonton Oilers. There's a lot of familiarity there with me and Milan. You can tell he's a very sincere individual, and he's a terrific, impactful player. He's going to change a lot of things here just by the way he plays, the way he leads. I've known him for a long time. I've seen him grow as a person, and I'm so excited to have him here. He's a very thoughtful guy. He's a student of the game. Also, you'll learn that. He studies teams, how they play. I love the way he plays. That goes without saying. He's in terrific shape. I heard a question earlier about the length of the contract. He was offered a longer term. You could probably guess who did that. He was offered more money. He told me that he didn't want to hamper us too much with building a team. I mean, everything about this guy is terrific. He's a good person. I've seen him lead on a number of occasions with the Bruins. I've seen him carry a team. He respects good players. You heard him talk about Connor. So he's a very good person. A great day for us, and really happy to have him on our team.
Did you always figure you had the inside track because you knew him better than anybody? He knew you better than you?
No, that made his visit a lot more comfortable, and it was actually really fun just to reconnect because, once I left Boston, I didn't really have a chance to see or talk to anybody. So I always enjoyed my time talking to him in Boston, and I like to hear his thoughts on the game and on players. He knows all the players in the league and how they play and stats, and very insightful guy. So no, it was just about reconnecting with him and telling him how we're planning on doing things here and going through what we've done and why we've done it. And he asked a lot of questions. He appreciated that we had dinner at the Cateses. Daryl and his family were terrific. Very personable, and it was a good day with him, and it was actually one of the benefits of the shopping period.
Any angst in the last 48 hours?
Yeah, big time. Like, he's if the question is the prior deal, would I have done it? That deal is being done.
Yeah.
So there was absolutely no connection to this. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, Milan told me some of the teams. Like, there was 12 teams. He told me some of the teams that were the finalists, and they're good teams and good people and good managers and good players and all that stuff. I know when we were walking around when we had him here, and I was talking to Brittany and his wife and Milan, and they talked about it. It's a real good place to raise a family. They got 2 young girls. He was really impressed with the rink, but with Milan, all that he wants to win, and that's the biggest thing. I've seen him in winning situations, and he's what we need in that sense. So
anytime you move a player like Taylor Hall, there'll be some risk involved. Anytime you give anyone a 7-year deal, maybe there's risk involved. Do you feel like totally calculated and confident with the level of that you're stepping out there with a couple of these big moves this week?
Well, there's risk involved in every decision you make, I feel like I can rehash the other deal, but I'll focus on Milan. Like, he's 28. He's very limited injuries, if anything. And yes, the way he plays, it's a little more difficult to play that into your 30s. But I've seen him grow as a physically and mentally as a young man. I know what care he takes of his body. I know what his wife. She's very into nutrition, as Milan has become into nutrition. He was always one of the best conditioned athletes on the Bruins, so that stuff mitigates the risk. But there's risks. Yep, there's risks.
How much more do you like your team today than a week ago?
Well, we've improved our team significantly. We've added what I assess as a top defense, and regardless, he's going to be a 2 at some point. Larson. We've added Milan Lucic, who is going to help lead this team. He's going to play a physical style of hockey. He's going to score. He's got a really nice set of hands. So we've lost a good player, very good player in Taylor, and who was a real significant part of this team. But I feel that we've improved by the style of player that we've brought in and our approach to the game.
There's no defenseman coming today, like
not today. No.
Puck rush. Is that still to come, or if you take a look at what's there and says, maybe not?
I'm just again looking to improve the team always, Maddie. I know that's something that I think our team would benefit from, so I can leave it at that.
You talked about wanting a right shot guy who'd maybe run your power play. If you don't get that via trade, would a player like James Wisniewski have any interest to you, or a guy coming off a whole season injury, is that a little bit of a concern?
I don't really want to comment on any of these players. I think at the end of the day, like you can build a power play by committee. That doesn't mean that we wouldn't go out and get a right shot D who can run that power play. We got some really skilled guys that are on the power play, that forwards that you don't necessarily need like a true skill specialist. Doesn't mean that we won't try and get one. I'm really happy with what we've done in the last few days. I'm going to let the dust settle a little bit before we go looking again, but really happy what we've done. And there's been some change. There's been some attitudinal change based on what we've done, and at this point in time, I'm quite satisfied.
You need a defenseman who gets the puck through to where Milan Lucic likes to be, though. A guy with a big shot. From
power play specialist?
Yeah. No, a big
or
guy
a
with
puck-moving guy.
A power play guy who can really shoot, because that's where he does his bread and butter stuff.
Well, he's net front.
Yeah,
he's net front, and he's got these tips and stuff. He puck retrieves too on power play. That's puck recovery is very important. He's very good at that. he like the thing about Milan is that he can play different roles on the power play. He can play off of. He's a very smart player. He can play off of players, and you heard him talk about Connor, and we have other smart players also. And so, back to the need for a defenseman. At some point, if we're not going to force it if we can't get it. I mean, and I trust what we can do outside of just having a pure power play specialist. As far as a shooter, that can get the puck through, that would help too. And we got a pretty good defenseman a couple days ago, and I'm not placing all my eggs in one basket with him, but let's not discount that.
So you had Demers in though to tour. So is he out of the picture then because he's not signed today?
At this time, we're not going to sign Jason Demers.
You've added. Sorry, Jason.
There was 5-6 free agent goalies. What was it about GUSTAVSSON that you decided on him?
Well, I thought he had a good year last year. I mean, I know 908's not great. He's big. He's strong. He had some medical issues. They all checked out. Again, one of the benefits of the shopping period, we were able to check out to our satisfaction. He's happy in the role. Laurent Brossoit knows that there'll be a competition. It was a good fit.
You've added Patrick Maroon. You've added Milan Lucic. You kept Gassian. Yarvy's 6'3", Larson 6'3". A pretty clear trend happening, and you feel it's critical to play a certain way.
Well, there's playing a certain way, then there's getting bigger, and then there's your approach to the game. So I think all those things are important to me when we're building a team. It makes it a little easier for the lesser sized players too to operate within those parameters. And over the course of a long season, it helps. And in our division, we're in a heavy division. Yeah. We're in a real heavy division, and you looked at guys like Connor and Leon at the end of the year when you go up into out to California. Those are tough matchups, and so you got to be able to wear down the opposition too, and that's what the big guys do. You got to be able to play. At the end of the day, you have to be able to play, and all those guys you mentioned can play.
What do you think Maroon can learn from a Lucic? Basically exact same size, and Maroon at every other level has been one of the leading scorers in his team. Can he be a guy who produces more offense? That end of the season for you, maybe not a point a game like he was, but can he be a 45-point player, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with Pat, and we've talked to him about it, I mean, part of it is his conditioning, and he's getting better. We've sent someone out to look at him. He's getting quite well conditioned at this point in the summer. I think that plays a part in it. Now there's a lesser matchup because you've got Luch that's going to be against the top line, so that he'll benefit from that. You saw that in the playoff. There are some real good players that benefited being in the third line matchups, so he'll benefit from that. So he'll also learn how to carry yourself on the ice, and how this is like Luch he's a consummate professional, and and he learned from some real good people in Boston. I saw him learn, so he'll from the Chairs and the Bergerons and the Chris Kellys. I mean, he's benefited from that.
You touched on a lot to like about Edmonton, but I wonder what in your previous experience having great players to use as bargaining chips. What is it like to have Connor McDavid kind of there and available? You don't have to maybe say anything. They know he's here.
Well, he's just a terrific young player, and all these guys know how good he is, it's fortunate that we have him. That's all I can say, and that you heard what Milan said about him, and Connor's a humble guy, and he wants to win, and I saw how happy he was when he won at the World Championships, and the guy's driven to win, as is Luch, and there's a lot of common goals there.
You touched on off the top, Peter, about Milan leaving you some wiggle room, both term and money. What's that mean to you? And even just once that gets out to the team, kind of.
Well, I mean, I know, it means everything, and it doesn't surprise me one bit. It doesn't surprise me one bit, and it's like he's not in it for the money, and I know you hear that whenever there's a free agent signing. With this, it's just it doesn't surprise me. You'll learn that Milan is like that, and it's again, doesn't surprise me.
Were you looking for I presume now you've still got the three centers with Nugent. Is they anticipating then just moving one of them to the wing, or were you looking for just a specific third line center in any of this?
We weren't really, Jim. We weren't really, Jim. There was a couple of centers out there that we talked. We just, you know what, more just, I don't know, like you have the ability to talk to these guys and see what their thoughts are, and you know, you go in the days leading up to today, and even in the shopping period, you throw a lot of ideas, and but really it wasn't anything significant.
You talked about an attitudinal change.
Hold on. Go ahead.
You spoke about an attitudinal change. Milan in the dressing room, his presence, what do you think that will bring to this team?
Well, it will bring a lot. I mean, I've seen how he holds himself in the dressing room, and how guys respect him, and how he plays the game, and he leads by example, and you know, he plays a hard game, and guys see him playing and being accountable, and he's in terrific condition, and all that stuff's important.
A bit of a culture change.
Well, it's just a change in attitude that's going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks.
We can still talk. I just we're gonna do a couple one-on-ones with Gene.
Oh yeah, how does this?
Luch, you want to jump in here with Gene? We're sure.
Thank you.
Okay, Corey, you ready?
One-on-one down the line as soon as I can here. So.
Excuse me. Just slide just up here this way. Yeah,
Corey, you want me to move my camera?
Go.
You good?
Go.
We're standing at the top of our team, and I have a feeling we have Milan Lucic.
What's the process like to finally
Hey, Trev.
Frankie, can you pass that one to Tom as well? He's got this. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
history, and you know, being a lover of hockey that I am, you know, being able to wear a jersey like this, that's some of the greats that have worn this jersey,
Right.
is such a special feeling, and to be able to come here and play in front of the fans that they have here in Edmonton is something also special, and I hope that, you know, I don't disappoint them and I don't let them down, and I hope that you know, we can get back to being a championship caliber team.
A lot of people excited that you joined the Oilers, and it's fitting that we're in front of this new arena. Is that something that really stood out to you, and what really, you know, caught your eye with this rink? Because a lot of people are talking about it right now, and you bring it up a lot in the interviews you've done today since signing.
Yeah, it truly is unbelievable what Mr. Cates is doing here for the city of Edmonton, and this arena that he's built is in my mind not only the best arena in hockey, it's the best arena in the world, and you know, with how he's transforming the city of Edmonton for Oilers fans and the people here is truly unbelievable, and that's something that played into my decision as well, and his commitment to this city and to this franchise and to the players and winning, which, you know, for me is really important, is that winning aspect, and you see the commitment that starts from the top, from the ownership group. I think it'll trickle down all the way down to the players, and hopefully we can reward them with a Stanley Cup.
Milan, Edmonton's not Boston, it's not Vancouver where you're from, and it's not LA, but it is a city on the rise. What does this mean for your family? And just talking to your wife really quickly, she seemed genuinely excited about the possibility of coming to this city, which is actually a pretty young city.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be a part of the transformation, as you see behind us.
Absolutely,
and,
yes.
We're excited to be a part of that, and you know, having the friends that I've had over the last 12 years that have grown up in Edmonton, and you know, Johnny Boychuk and Andrew Ferentz being one of my best friends that I've had back in Boston. So I got to talk to them a lot about what it's like to raise a family here, and what it was like for them being able to grow up in a place like Edmonton. So, you know, they gave us, they made us feel pretty good about our decision from a family standpoint. So, you know, like I said, it feels more than right that I'm making a good decision here, and like I said, we just want to, from a hockey standpoint, we want to do as a team whatever we can to not let our fans down, because you know what they've been through the last 10 years. You know, you know, it's about time we start heading into the right direction.
I'm glad you brought up the hockey standpoint, because focusing on the ice now, you mentioned Connor McDavid as well. You've played in the Pacific Division this last season. What's it going to take for this team to actually start making some tracks in this division and become a contender?
Well, obviously, you know, with the big teams in this division, you got to be a tough team to play against, and it starts by giving it your all night in, night out, and being team tough, and obviously it starts from the top with Connor McDavid, who's already shown that he can lead a team and to anywhere that they want to go, but it's about everyone else stepping up their game and supporting him and playing that team toughness and doing whatever it takes to win. And fortunately for me, I've been a part of winning teams my whole career, and hopefully I can bring some of my experience here to Edmonton and get it going into the right direction.
Finally, now you just turned 28. You're a veteran in this league. How do you try to assimilate yourself into this organization and this team, especially after making a 7-year commitment?
Well, I you know, you bring up 28. I feel like I'm
a young 28.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 19 years old walking into the Bruins dressing room. So, you know, I think there's lots to look forward to. You know, I've, knock on wood, been healthy for most of my career. So I just gotta go out there and be me, and not trying to be someone else. Mm-hmm. Go out there and do the things that I'm good at doing, and hopefully. You know, hopefully I can bring my experiences that I've had, especially in the dressing room, and make it all work from there. So I'm excited to be able to have this fresh start and opportunity to contribute to a new team, and like I said, hopefully you know, we'll go where we want to go. You know, within the 7 years that I'm here.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for doing this. Look forward to seeing what you can do on the ice in the fall in that building right over there. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
Thanks, Milan.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Okay, have a good day.
All right, thank
Enjoy.
you.